have no idea where I'm going. Would I give you money to go to New York? Absolutely not, because you're not going there. So it's very important, guys. It's very important.
Okay, the next one's related to these new, the Stephanie thing recently in Iceland. Some people have been saying, asking if this is heralding the end of Julianna Rose Mauriello ceasing to play Julianna. Is it going to move to one of these new Stephanies, or will she continue for some time?
I had Stephanie with me yesterday, and she was fantastic actually in the costume, and she still fit in it and still played it perfectly. And but Julianna is also in school, so she is learning a lot, studying. So and that's what I like about her, because she could easily go somewhere and be an actress, but she is really in school, but it's very good. But we chose only the person in Iceland for the Icelandic market. So we haven't really looked for Stephanie worldwide, basically not. So that's maybe going to happen. And so the Icelandic Stephanie, we chose 2, and there was more than 800 Stephanies who came to try it. And I invited 130 of them to be on the stage at the same time, and they did. And then there's one really young, 12 years old, who's really good, and there's one who's a little bit older, because she can do all the live shows. She can go around, because you can't send 12 years old alone to have a show. She's going to, on Wednesday, she's going to China. There's 75 million people going to the expo in China, Shanghai Expo, and we're going to the Chinese schools, and we're gonna find 100 Stephanies, and they're gonna dance with her in China. So it's going to be really interesting. So you can't send 12 years old to do that. It's a lot of responsibility. So we haven't really looked for Stephanie at the moment worldwide, but that's going to happen, and also for Sportacus. I think we have about 50 different Sportacus around the world right now, and like in England here, Julian was very good. And there's a lot of good guys who can do it, but it's difficult to play Sportacus. It's very difficult, because kids can see it in your eyes if you mean it or not, and you need to have a lot of different skills. It's not only dancing. It's like a human touch. So it's a little bit tricky.
Well, thank you for that. Let's see what else we have. Here's one from our actual person who organised, Anna. How does Lazytown Productions find its crew, production staff and writers? Because earlier on, in some of the early interviews, you did mention about how you chose your staff, but it was very light. So do you actually do that side of it? Do you recruit?
Say that again.
How do you recruit? People?
Recruit is hire.
Hire. How do you actually find them? How do you hire them?
It's in when you shoot, normally production, then there's a certain it's like an army. It's basically like there's a lieutenant, there's a guy who put the gas on the tank and whatever. So it is a system. In the production industry, it is a system. You have a producer, you have a line producer, you have a makeup artist, you have a set designer, etc. This is all like posts who are. So I would choose like 3-4 that I really like, who's very close to me, and then the rest is like what they have done before, or if they fit what we're going to do, how fast they are, and how good to work with them, etc., etc. So that is like a system. This is normally done by either that we hire them, I hire a producer and he get all those stuff, or I hire my main guy who will be producer, music guy like Máni, Snorri with the sax, and maybe the writer. This is the people I will hire, and the costume. I did also the costumes, and so people who were very close to me, and then the production, they do the rest. And then I just look at them, if I like them or not, and look at what they have done before, and if they fit, and then I make the final decision. This is how it's done. But it's more difficult to find creative team, because you never know if you have created Lazytown. Could I create SpongeBob? You understand? Is it possible? So you never know that. So you have to be really careful when you look at resume from people when they say I did that, because maybe necessarily they didn't really do it. They say I did. A lot of people say we did Lazy Town, but maybe they didn't do Lazy Town. Maybe they did something else in Lazy Town. So you have to be careful. But I believe if the person is generally like hard-working person and they are enthusiastic about it, normally that helps a lot, of course.
Oh, thank you very much. I think Anna will like that. Okay.
What's it like working with an international team? The amount of language difficulties.
You mean like different languages?
Yeah,
Or you mean like different cultures?
When you have hired all these people from around the world.
It's not a... The Americans are a little bit difficult sometimes. I would say they are sometimes. Because they are not used to travel so much. And they have never been out of the country. They don't live in an island. So when you have an island mentality, you are used to travel, or it's a different mentality. But when you are like a continent, like the United States, it's like they're homesick, etc., etc. But Lazyton team was actually fantastic. We only had like one or two major small problems, that somebody got sick and need to go home. But the team was absolutely brilliant, and I never had any problems with the team whatsoever. And they were actually just brilliant, worked really hard. And I remember the one of the puppeteers, he liked American food, so he played the mayor, and he really wanted to eat American food all the time. And he's very not he's not very heavy. He's like a very tall guy, and the mayor is very heavy. And one day I've been working all day with this heavy puppet, and it's a hard work. Even me as sportagus, I can barely hold it for half an hour, and then for a whole day it's like amazing. And then suddenly we saw the mayor just faint, boom, and we saw him drop out of frame. And then he didn't really eat enough, because he's only been eating in the same restaurant, so he needed like more balanced food. So it was very interesting. But it's not difficult now.
Before you first decided to make Lazy Town into a TV show, did you know much about that kind of process?
Yeah, I did a show called Gestir. Gestir means visitors. I did that before, and I've done a lot of commercials, and both as a producer and different things. And I didn't know how. When you do a TV, it's a machine. Movies are different. It's like a period. A movie you shoot for 28 days, like bam, 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 and then you're off. But in TV it's constant. You're doing it, like boom, 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 all the time. And that is it's totally different. And in Iceland, they have never done TV more than 16 episodes, total for 2,000 years. So the crew have never done it. Never done TV or going to be 50 episodes or 70. Never done that. So because in Iceland it's an island and people move very quickly, and they're not used to be in the same job for a long time. So that was a little challenging to get them up to be on the 100% level all the time. Come on, no, because it's not another day in the job. So, but I was not going to direct Lazy Town at all. And I hired 2 directors to do it, and they came, and one of them was sick immediately and couldn't do it in Iceland actually. So we were shooting the second. We shot one show and we threw it away, never been shown. And then we shot one. We started to shoot the other one. It was supposed to take 6 days to shoot, but he was 3 weeks the first episode to shoot, and it cost nearly 1 million to do. And then he got sick, and I need to step in and do it. So it was like, what do we do? And I stepped in, I directed it. And then from there, I hired another director, and he couldn't do it either. So I just fired them both and did it. And then I hired 2 other, and then I got a guy called Jonathan Judge, who I said to, okay, whatever you know, just forget it and learn from it. Learn what I tell you what to do, and then add to what you know on top of that. And that's what he did. And he was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. And I think I did 40 episodes, something like that. And I think he did 8 and the other guy did 4. I don't remember exactly, but it was something like this. Even if I did almost 40, I think. And but I was never going to do it. I was never going to play Sportacus either. So it was very interesting. So accidentally I I was the director, and in writing process we are 3 writers, Mark, me and Mauni. And the challenge was that we all had different skills. I did all the action and the structure. Mauni did the humor, and Mark did helped with the story. So and with a little bit like the language and etc. to pull together. So we had different skills. So I did the skeleton and the story ideas and Sportacus stunts and all that, because no writer could write the Sportacus stunts. It was not possible. And because most writers have never done sports, so it was very challenging. And sport people are too stupid to write, so they think that you cannot do it. So it's very interesting.
Okay, what kind of music do you like? Do you have any specifics?
Not really. I have an iPod with 13,000 songs, and I go to shuffle, and I listen to everything who comes up. I really like Class, London Calling, and all kind of songs. There's a lot of I think I like most I like all kind of music, but lately I start to like more classical music than I did. I liked a lot of classical music, but now I like it a lot. I listen to it more and more and more. I go to libraries and read books. Is what I do. I read a lot of books, and I try to read 300 books a year, and I read a lot on a plane. So it's like maybe, and then some of my books I pick that I go to the library. 20% to 30% of the books I go to the library, pick a book that I don't know anything about, just pick it, and I go to the plane and I have to read it. And it could be about cats or astronauts or whatever. So first it was horrible, but now those are the most interesting books that I read, because it's books that I would never really read, and it opens up your whole new life or world. So it's very good. So I think that's why music, listen to a lot of different things, and but I would say classical music now in those days. Michael Bublé sometimes when I don't need to think too much. Then I put Michael Bublé on because he has a very nice voice. But when I really want to listen to music, I would go to more like heavy music, a little bit more that I really need to go into. Strongless, I love Strongless, and